going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do a tattoo tour where I discuss all things to do with my tattoos. Alright, so to start off with, I'll let you guys know why I guess I like tattoos so much, why I got so many. Tattooing is really big in my family. My pop was a tattoo artist, my grandma was a tattoo artist. My uncle actually tattooed my whole body. If you want to check out more of his work, it's in the link in the description below. He has his own shop down in Melbourne. When I started getting tattooed, I wasn't planning to get a full bodysuit, which I now have. I did just enjoy the way it was all starting to look, the way it was all starting to come together. So I sort of just kept going, did my upper body, and then figured I couldn't leave my legs. So really like leg sleeves, and ended up getting my leg sleeves done as well. My bodysuit's been complete for about almost 4 years, so I haven't been tattooed in almost 4 years. A lot of people were asking me when I was almost finished my bodysuit, like, oh, like, what are you gonna do when you have no spaces left to get tattooed? But for me, I just felt complete. I don't need any more tattoos. I feel good with the way I look. I like all my tattoos, I like all my artwork. Definitely don't regret any of it. So that's just that. I just enjoyed the way I looked with tattoos. My bodysuit took in total 132 hours, and that happened over just under 5-year period. So I did get it done pretty quick. I was doing two days in a row. Every time I went to Melbourne to get tattooed, I had to fly there. I was doing 2 days in a row, which was about 6 or 7 hours each day, which that's a mental challenge in itself. That's quite hard to sit through 2 days. But don't get me wrong, a lot of people sit for more hours than that and more days in a row. But doing that every time I went down to Melbourne, every few months, I would do 2 days in a row. I'll now let you guys know where I think was the most painful spots, painful sessions that I had. Because not necessarily the most painful spot was the most painful session. A really painful spot for me was my stomach, and a lot of other people say their stomach as well. Definitely like down on the hip bones was really bad. Just feels like a crazy vibration and a crazy burn. And then stomach, because there is no bones, it's all just six pack of muscles. Just because there is no bones and stuff, it's just a really crap spot to get tattooed. I personally didn't like the outline. The outline was always the worst for me. When we're doing my chest down into my stomach, it's obviously one big piece. And the best thing to do when you're getting tattooed is to just stay calm and make sure you're breathing properly and relax. But when he was on the outline, going down past my sternum into my stomach, your whole stomach would just tense up, and it was hard to stay relaxed, which made it even worse. So when he was outlining down through my sternum and stuff, and that was really painful. But then obviously all the outline stuff on my stomach was really bad as well. Another pretty painful spot was my armpits. So I got both armpits tattooed. They're both pretty average spots to get done. It's just a really bad burning sensation. Right in the middle was really painful. One of my worst sessions actually was my armpit, because the night before I got it tattooed, I got food poisoning. So I didn't really eat breakfast or anything that morning. I felt super crap, super sick still. I managed to get a little bit of sugar in me to get me through the session, but that session was 4 hours, and by the end of it I was like, had hot and cold sweats, I was shaking like crazy. So that was a really crap experience, but I did get through the armpit that day after food poisoning, which really sucked. And I guess my most painful spot would definitely be my nipples. We got them both pretty much done. It wasn't the worst session. That area was super quick, but it was the most intense pain I had felt getting tattooed. Just because all the nerve endings are there. When he was actually on my nipple, it felt like he was up in my collarbones, and just all these crazy different feelings all at one time, which really sucked, but it was done in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. So that was really bad. If you guys are thinking about getting your nipples done, beware, it's really painful. Alright, so the first tattoo I actually got, I was 16 years old. My grandma tattooed me for the first time. I ended up getting that covered up. It was a Southern Cross under this fish here, under this koi fish, which you obviously can't see anymore. And that was my first tattoo. But then when I decided to get a sleeve done, I figured it wasn't really going to work in with the theme that I was going for. My uncle specializes in Japanese artwork, so I knew he'd do a great job on that. So my first arm, we ended up going Japanese style with the koi fishes. This was done in 2 sessions. One arm was done in 2 sessions, so we did the lower arm first, then the top part of my arm. And then we did my other arm second, stuck with the Japanese theme, and then figured my whole upper body will be Japanese themed. So I have a samurai on the top with some little demons around the outside looking up at the samurai. On my back is a Tibetan skull, so that's also Japanese skull. I just liked the big space. We had so much room to play with and make a full piece look really good. And my uncle obviously made it come all together. So I'm definitely stoked for my back piece. I don't get to see it much, so every time I do see it, I actually really enjoy looking at it. So that's my top half. That's all Japanese themed. We wanted to go something different on my legs. I'm a fan of horror movies, and I knew they'd work good in tattoos as well. I've seen a lot of sleeves, a lot of leg sleeves and stuff being horror themed. So I wanted to do that. So from my knees and below is all horror themed. We have a few different horror themed characters. We got Chucky and his bride on the outside of my leg. We have Jigsaw on the inside here, and Annabelle. I'm sure you guys all know who those horror characters are. We got Freddy and Jason on the other leg. And then now moving to the top half of my leg, top half of my legs. We went with some animals, sort of still like scary-ish, so it matches the bottom half of my legs as well. But we got a wolf, and then we got King Kong on my thighs. They were really good spaces to fill. It's such a large area, so we had a lot of room to play with. Okay, so once I finished the top half of my body, we ended up doing both my legs, and it only left one more spot really to do, which was my bum. So if you guys don't want to see my bum right now, skip forward a little bit, because I'm going to show you that. It was the last session I got done actually, so that was the last piece of the puzzle. It was my 2 butt cheeks, which I got done over 2 days as well. So that was the last piece of the puzzle, was my bum. One side was another Tibetan skull, similar to what's on my back, so we did keep my bum Japanese themed as well. It just worked its way down. And then on the other side I have a Buddha that just worked in with the Japanese theme too. So there you have it. There's my full body suit with no hands, no neck, no feet. I absolutely love the way that all my tattoos turned out. I had so much trust in my uncle to tattoo me and make it look good. So I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm extremely grateful that I had connections in the tattoo industry to be able to make it happen. So I guess the last thing for me to tell you guys is how much all my tattoos cost. Tattoos are really expensive. Obviously I had a hookup in the industry. My uncle did do it. He helped me out a lot. He did it for cheap. He did my left arm, my first sleeve for free, and then every hour after that he charged me $100 an hour. So it was pretty cheap. He worked super quick as well, 132 hours in total. So all up, it cost around $12,000 over a 5-year period, which isn't really too bad. Yeah, I mean, to look how I wanted to look and have all these tattoos and stuff like that, it was all worth it for me. So I'm definitely not complaining. I'm stoked on the way everything turned out, and I knew my uncle would do a great job of that as well. If you guys are looking to get your first tattoo, or you want to have a full bodysuit or anything like that, just make sure you do your research, make sure it's actually what you want, because they are a forever thing. There is obviously laser and stuff these days, but you don't really want to go down that path. Just make sure you know what you want and you're going to have it forever. So make sure you think about that as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay tuned for the next one.